right, family. Good to be back with y'all. Welcome to the show. We're here with another episode with the legendary Mr. George Coghill, two-time NFL Super Bowl champ.
Let's get it.
Wake Forest record holder. James Monroe High School record holder. I know I'm creeping up on you on that record. I'm creeping up on you on that record. Almost. Formally, you know.
And we've been talking about getting you on here for a while, so you know what I'm saying. Like we say, we got George Book, man. That was very exciting.
Yeah.
To hear. And you just been such a polarizing figure, you know, in school, because you know you coached us and all. So regardless of your accolades and accomplishments, you know, we really looked up to you. So it's good to have you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's been a dream, especially following your career and everything.
Yeah.
And seeing where you started, and I had no idea in high school at the time, but I'm like,
right.
Domi? I said, what? Because you was a shy guy. So to see you now, man. It's awesome, man. So I enjoy following guys that, you know, especially that I coach, coming up from the community. So whatever I can do, man, to help out.
That's so humbling, man. And we appreciate you coming on, taking this time to, you know, the people you mentored to come out and help us out, give us this helping hand. So that's important. And before we get into it, let me show you this, man. This is a little trip down memory lane. And I want them to see this. I want you to see it first. Is this side? Because I don't think this one's you. Is that you?
Let me see.
Is that one you? I know the other side is you.
No, that's my brother.
That's your brother.
That's my brother.
The other side is you.
The other side. Where we at right here?
Right here?
Yeah, that's me.
Right here.
So we gave, I guess one of AC was receivers and I was
DBs.
So we both coach everything.
Yeah.
I thought you was the coach, so you got a jersey on here.
Oh, no.
He put the defensive back.
Look at that. The crew, great.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
I remember you were 8 too, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, still playing there, Maury Field, baby.
Yeah, let's show the people real quick, Rock. Can you catch that one? Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's something special, man. I wanted to. Man, them boys hard in that picture. Man.
Oh yeah.
Them boys hard in.
Ever seen it?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
we got
Trip.
All the ones he talked about in the song. We got Mayfield right here.
Yeah.
Hazel Hill, Brad Hill. We got all these guys in there, man.
That's probably what 2006, 7.
Yeah, it's probably about
Yeah. Around that time.
Well, this is your senior year.
That's what I believe it is.
This was a senior year.
I believe
I remember
it is.
we lost a couple of guys that year.
Yeah.
You guys pulled them through, man.
Yeah,
I remember
man.
that.
They ain't miss a beat. And you know that? Do you remember the line you used to tell me before every game?
They hit
That you used to ask me. That you used to ask me during the pregame warm-ups. What's the weather like, Dirty? We be like, what's the weather like, Dirty? I be light chance of snow. That's when that Jeezy was, you know.
Yeah. Now, I remember I was hitting out there too. I see him to this day. He'll be saying that, man.
Dang, man, I should have been on that field. I'll be thinking back to that. I should have got on that field.
Man, but let me tell you one thing you told me that stuck with me, man, that I still tell young students, athletes that play football. You told me if you're not afraid of contact, you're more than halfway there. Talking about the NFL. Mm-hmm. So, where did that come from? Where did you gather that wisdom and knowledge?
It's a physical sport, man.
Yeah.
But just the mental part of it, the difference between an NFL guy and an average college guy is mentally, because there's going to be roadblocks and there's going to be no's, there's going to be cuts. A lot of people won't notice about my story, but they think I started off just with NFL.
Yeah.
I came out of college in '93 and went to the Saints for 1 year. The Saints went there, having a pretty good preseason, hurt my knee, was out for the entire year. Came back the following year and got cut. So that's '94. So it's the first time I've ever been cut in my life, man. I came back home, I was sick. Ended up taking a job at Walker Grant Middle School, teaching PE, and then they started with the World League. So that's when I went overseas. So in '95, I went over to Scotland. I didn't just go for 1 year. I went over 3 straight years to Scotland. until 97. And then that summer in 97, after I finished playing there, is when I got on with the Broncos. So resilience, just not giving up, that's what kept me going. And that's the reason why, I ended up playing, which was, my first year I was 27 years old, man.
Yeah.
Now, how many people are going to keep pursuing that, knowing, they're not getting that shot, but I kept going, man. So, because I knew I could play in that league, so I just had to stay with it.
Dang. So we gotta take it back, man. So growing up, we was young George. You know what I'm saying?
Young George. Actually, I was a little bookworm, man.
Okay.
Beginning, middle school. Then I kind of got on my shit a little more in high school, but didn't do a lot. We didn't have a lot, around, Fredericksburg. So, skate lane, playing ball at the courts. I know you referenced that in the, sitting in the blocks playing softball and baseball. But, I was hang around at home, help my mom out whenever I can. But, you just had the neighborhood back then, man. We sun up, we outside,
Yeah.
And when we stay outside. We're all over Mayfield. If something's going on, I know the parents over in the new section going to call and let my parents know and everything. So it was a close-knit community, man, and I loved it there. And so everything we did was at the courts, at the cinder block factories, whatever we're doing, riding bikes all over the place. So that was my childhood. Absolutely loved it, man.
So you had to be born with some natural born talent as far as athleticism, so where did, like, first of all, your love for the game, the sport of football? Because I know in Mayfield, when I was growing up, it was more basketball predominantly. But I know you had to be just an all-around athlete to begin with.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little more about that? Like
This is something a lot of people don't either. Football wasn't my favorite sport growing up. I was a baseball player. I love baseball, but a lot of us didn't play it, in the neighborhood because one, they said the ball was too hard. But me and my brother, we was always looking for a baseball game. So just loving the game. My father was a gifted athlete. My mom was an athlete. She played softball and basketball. Everybody in my family, all my uncles, they played ball too. So just growing up, that's all you did was sports. We didn't have a lot of video games and stuff. So every day we throwing the ball, football. I don't care what is it, 100 degrees outside or 5 inches of snow on the ground. We're playing football. You know what I'm saying? And then when we get enough to play a game of baseball, then we're playing cinder block factories, things like that. And we used to play against other neighborhoods too. So we used to play against Hazel Hill. We used to play against Bragg. We used to make the trip, man. Walking up the hill, walking all because we didn't have cars. We'd go and play in the little field and up at Bragg Hill, man. Full contact. That's where we did it though, man. But just being around the game and playing every single day, and then to have the basketball courts right across the street. Well, I live right there, so.
So I think about the youth now, what I'm saying, the young athletes now, and my son, he an athlete, I tell him, man, if you want to go to that next level, you got to make sacrifices, What can you tell the youth? What are some sacrifices you had to make? Some of you look back at it and say, if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's just, being able to be on your own. Because I had some guys that did some things that they're not supposed to do, but one, they didn't involve me when it came down to it, but two, I learned to walk away. I learned to stay at home. I learned to stay out of that store, but I never got into, you need to drink and smoke. And to this day, the last sip of alcohol I've had, my sophomore year in high school. I haven't taken a sip since. And not that anything bad happened. I said, is this going to make me a better athlete? The answer was no. I said, I'm not doing it. So that was my mindset. And I think that is my best feature, just mentally. I'm a fight. I hate losing, whether I show it or not, but I hate losing. And it drives me, man, when things aren't going right. And that's kind of what's happened, with me as far as coaching right now. We haven't had the success I think we're capable of, but haven't stopped the fight.
So it's just that competitive nature in the discipline.
Yeah.
Do you believe those are the key factors that got you to where you are today and reached those pinnacles of success you've reached?
100%, man. You gotta stay with it. I mean, and again, there are gonna be days where you gotta do some stuff that the others aren't doing. Working out. I used to work out all the time, whether it's running, because I never was the fastest, the strongest, or anything like that. But mentally, I think I can match it with anybody that I came across over the years. But I wasn't even the best athlete on our football team. Bates was that guy. Bates was the guy that's getting all his scholarship looks and stuff like that. But I was still doing what I had to do to keep improving each year, and then and I kept my grades up too. And that was a big one. Right now, some kind of kids think it's not cool to get all these A's and B's. I'm like, dude, that's gonna open it up. The better your grades are, the more opportunities you have. Whether you're going to college or whatever it is. But at the same time, you got to be disciplined. You got to be willing to say no and not partake in some of the things that your buddy may be taking in.
That's big.
And peer pressure is tough, man. And now with so much social media, this stuff is out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Can't hide nothing.
Yeah, you can't hide it.
Always watching.
So, and it's ruined a lot of careers, man. And unfortunately, and not saying the same things wouldn't happen when we were growing up, but the cameras weren't there.
Right.
The cell phone wasn't there. So I grew up in a time I like to, hold on to, man. I'm an old school thinker, so you do good and think good things will come in return.
Yeah.
That's words of wisdom for the children. This is a great lesson here for the children to take heed to. So we want to talk about your high school days at James Monroe. You say you wasn't the star athlete that was getting all the looks. You were sort of the underdog, but at the end of the day, you from that team have obviously gained the most accolades ultimately by following through with your career. So what do you think in your high school days led you to go to Wake Forest, and why Wake Forest?
Good question, man. One, being a hometown guy, small school. Fredericksburg is a small city. And I went on visits to, Carolina and Maryland and stuff like that. And we're going around taking a tour. Yeah, the campuses are big and stuff like that. But then they're talking about the classroom setting. You could be in here with 300, 400 kids.
Yeah.
I went to Wake. The biggest your class is going to be is maybe 40 kids, And they gave me the chance to play baseball my very first year there. So it came down to Wake Forest and North Carolina. North Carolina, Mac Brown said, okay, yeah, you can play baseball, but you're not going to play baseball your very first year as a freshman.
Okay.
And Wake Forest, you can play baseball, you can play football scholarship, but you can play baseball. And so that ultimately was the one that I ended up falling in love. But I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the small community, and that's what I was looking for. And that was one of the first visits I had. And I pretty much had my mind made up. But,
were you thinking more along the terms of academics or scholarship, or just the size of the school ultimately?
A little bit of everything, but here's the story. I remember, because I got offered a scholarship at Wake, and I'm not going to mention the kid's name. Okay. I remember a kid telling me, he said, okay, yeah, he got into Wake Forest, but can you stay in there? And that was like, the competitiveness in me that drove me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to that school. And I'm going to prove this dude wrong. And you think about it, it's like, that's a dumb reason for doing it. That wasn't the only reason, but I always remember hearing that. And so when I went to Wake, I jumped in those books, man. And I was, C+ student in high school. But I'm like, if I'm there and I'm applying myself and doing everything I have to do, then, I'll be all right. So I ended up getting to Wake and ended up making the dean's list a couple of times, when I was actually playing 3 sports. I don't know if you know. But I was football, baseball. I still hold a record for track in both the indoor and outdoor triple jump.
I didn't know that.
Wake.
Yeah, Wake Forest. So.
Man, so how did y'all do in high school? What football way?
Football?
Yeah,
how we do in high school?
Yeah.
Woo!
We got to hear about that. Get into the records.
Yeah, we came in my first year, freshman year. Joe Lanford was still the head coach for varsity, and I remember, man, they had me and Bates up on varsity, but I'm like, man, we trying to play, man. I don't want to play varsity if I ain't gonna be able to play and be on a special team. And so I remember one day we're supposed to go to practice. You go left, you go on the JV side. You go right, you go to varsity. And we didn't tell it because we went to the JV side, man, because I wanted to play.
Okay.
And so we went down and we played a little bit when we started JV and stuff like that. But then the next year is when Coach Survey took over. No, not sorry, next year. Yeah, he did. He took over my sophomore year, and we had Deion Johnson, his brother, Kiki Bakes, my brother, AC, Ronell, and we did finish 5-5. But that's when the district was Louisa, Caroline, Orange, JM, Spotsylvania. There wasn't no chance in Cortland, but there wasn't no other schools. And so we was like, we got a lot of people coming back. And so that next year, man, we started running things, man. We got off to a slow start, but then I think we won I don't know how many straight. So we ended up, going through the playoffs, won the state title at Murray Stadium. And then the following year, we still bringing back all of us. So we were playing varsity for 2 years now. That's the year we went 14-0. We were averaging about 36, 37 a game, giving up maybe 5 if that. But that's the year Bakes ran for 3,000, 40-some touchdowns. And he didn't even play he didn't play so many quarters because we were always winning.
Right.
And we had a defense, man, an offense. We just had it all. But we've been playing together since we were 9 years old, man. There was no travel ball back then. Yeah. There was 3 city league teams, Steelers, Redskins, Rams type of deal. And we all played against each other, but once we got to middle school, it was Walker Grant. Then we got to high school, it was JM. So we've been playing with each other, and we all knew each other. And it meant something to us, man. Now there's a lot of, I'm gonna say transplants, but kids are going to school where they're not supposed to be going, and they're going here and going there. Yeah. They don't have that hometown feel, and that's a lot of the reason why I do some of the things I do with the high school now. Just kind of, tell those guys appreciate what they have, because the longer you stay together, the better the outcome's going to be, and the more fulfilling it's going to be, because you're doing it with your brothers, you're doing it with the guys that you roll bikes with, the ones you're in the hallways with in middle school. Now kids, they'll go here and there, man, and they'll go there for a year, and coaching staff change, they're going somewhere else. It's ridiculous.
Chemistry, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no chemistry, man.
Man, that's amazing, man. So now that you're coaching, have you seen any team remotely close to what y'all had back then in 88, 89?
88 was our graduate year, so 87 was our football
87.
year. 87, 86 was state championship teams. Now, the 87 team, they haven't been a team.
That's a dream team.
Yeah, you say that humbly, man.
It was a dream team, and kids don't understand how good that team was. And that was, Survey was the head coach then. And man, we had it all. We had guys with attitude who can play. We had guys that just straight athletes, and we had it all. We had big boys, we had skilled guys, we had everything you needed. We had a hell of a coaching staff too. So.
Well, because I know and you say that was Coach Survey's first year winning like that?
First year we went 5-5. The second year we won the state championship. We had won on a 20-game win streak. So from the 86 to 87, 20 straight. Then they ended up losing the following year. Man, we're a little upset with those guys.
And see, that's sort of unique, because I know during our era, it was like we were the city boys and sort of the smallest, and we would go and play those country boys, and they'd be huge. But y'all had size and speed, athleticism, the whole nine.
Yeah. Even we're saying the big guys now. You look back on that team and look at the size of some of those guys. We really weren't that big. But back then, in our mind, we still play against these 6A schools. So they got big boys, man.
Yeah.
They're choosing from 2,400 students. We got 1,000 that we're choosing from, So, and we still pride ourselves on playing with the big boys and, the higher division. But, back in the day, the higher division, they didn't want to play us because they knew it's like, we got nothing to gain out here, because one, if we lose to them, it'd be like, look back. And so, but, we're getting back to that now. Last year we took a step in the right direction, but this year, this will be the best team I've had since I've been here. So I'm looking forward to it. And we brought back a lot of the old coaches too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Survey's back.
Is
what?
he?
Hey, that's breaking news.
Coach
right
Haynes
Eddie Haynes is the offensive coordinator. George Majors, he didn't play, but he was after you, I think. Yeah, he was.
Oh, Mays? Oh,
George Majors. No, that's Brady. Majors the offensive line coach, but we
Coach Haynes.
we got him back.
Yeah,
Coach Haynes,
absolutely.
So we fired up, man. We've been having a great off season. So we're trying to get the city on the buzz, man. We got everything we need. We got players, and this is the best coaching staff I had. And it's, a lot was made up what happened, the transfer and stuff like that, and stuff. I've never talked about it publicly and stuff, but Sergey's always been supportive to me while he was away. Whether it's a text or phone call, something like that. I know he's limited right now as far as his vision. His physical ability, but mentally he's still there, man. It's been great to have somebody you can talk to that's had so much experience in everything, how to handle things, and he kind of sensed things too, He's like, hey, you all right? I don't think you, I'm like, well, yeah, and I bounce it off him. Eddie Haynes, he was a head coach for years at King George, so a lot of head coaching experience. So, like you said, man, was it something that was free? It was growing pains. You said, you want to give your respect, your accolades.
While they're here.
It's important to give them that, but it's important to give them to them while they can appreciate it. And so that's what we're doing. We're bringing them home where he should be. We're gonna have a great season. He's gonna be a big reason for that too.
Man, I can tell he's just so passionate about coaching. Man.
It's different, man. It's different. Seriously, when you're the head coach and assistant. I was assistant coach when you guys were there, and you can form relationships and stuff like that. But you didn't have to worry about anything else. I didn't have to worry about dealing with parents. I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about uniform. I didn't have to worry about fundraising and all that stuff. Once you get the big whistle, man, everything comes into it. You got making sure the grades, making sure people are getting home, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's been great though, I ain't gonna lie, because you get to affect a lot more kids. And the only thing I think we haven't done as a staff is in the win-loss column. Other than that, I know, we've been doing everything we can for these kids, and they're gonna remember some of the lessons we've taught them. And I've surrounded them with great coaches and stuff. So
Absolutely. A lot of life lessons that you learn through a great coach. Because I know you say it's a physical sport, but the mental is what got you to where you are. And I don't remember which coach said it, if it was you or another, but they said the game is really only 10% physical and 90% mental.
Yeah, I don't know if I said that, but yeah. The mental part of it is huge, man. And you gotta have kids that believe it and stuff, So that's why I do a lot of things I do football-wise. I have a program. I got some goodies here too. I don't know if you want to bring them out now.
If you feel, we welcome it.
We're good on time.
All right, we're good on time. I didn't realize we said you were here. I didn't. But I said, I gotta give you a hat, man.
Thank you, man.
That's a JM hat. But then I got a bunch of T-shirts, man, and what it is
it's pride.
Pride one, but it's a tiered up program, and what it is an off season. It starts in January, and so start rewarding kids for coming to the weight room, doing what they're supposed to do. Each level, when they all start off lifting weights, they all got white shirts on. Everybody's the same.
Okay.
And then they'll separate themselves by on the first, I call it the first tiered up day. If you meet certain goals, whether you lift a certain amount of weights, I put community hours in there, kids that perform community hours.
Okay.
I get the grades in there, so you have your grades, and then if you went from benching maybe 150 to 175. So it's 4 different areas, categories they have to meet in order to tee it up. So then they go to gray. Once they go to gray, they go to orange, and once they go to orange, they go to black. And so I do that because one, we got to keep these kids engaged.
Motivated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But all of them have a special meaning. I don't just give them a T-shirt, but it's a reason for it, like this one. This was one of them.
Get on the bus.
Get on the bus, all right? I got one, and I'll explain, get on the bus, because I talk about, people come from different walks of life, Mayfield, people come from Hazel Hill, people coming from Bragg Hill. I said, the thing about the city is, once you go on the bus, they go into one high school. You can be in Stafford, and your bus, you can be on a different street. One's going to Brook Point, one's going to Stafford, one's going to. I said, but if you go on that bus, man, you come to JM. And when we come here, we're all, we're the only orange and black yellow jacket on the face of this earth. And so I'm like, hey, if you get on that bus, then you coming with us, and we're gonna take care of you. Yeah. So that was that one. This was our weightlifting one last year. It's know your job, do your job. 9.09. That's football field, 100 yards, right? Got 11 players. You're like, fellas, you gotta know your job, do your job. So if you're a corner, you got deep thirds, you gotta have your deep thirds. You're doing your job. So I take that number, 11 players divided by 100, you get 9.09. If I'm doing my 9.09 and he's doing his 9.09 and you're doing your 9.09, we got that 100 yards covered. So they knew that every day.
I missed this talk, man.
Going on, man. This one a little fluorescent, man. It's a little bright one, but I know you heard the story, the bison, the animals.
No.
So I get inspiration from everything. Or the bison, and you can look it up, but when the storm is approaching, they talk about a lot of animals kind of run away from it and run sideways, and in all essence, they're caught up in the storm even longer. But the bison, he'll see the storm coming, and he's going directly to it. And he's taking on that storm head on, and he's getting through it a lot quicker, while a lot of other animals are dying because they're trying to avoid it. And I'm like, we know our problems, getting strong and stuff like that, so that's one of the ways we got to attack our weakness, and that's what we get to be a bison. So
I like that, man.
That's another one. Let's see. This one, I say that one because I heard you say it. This right here is just 2241, only football team in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
This is Junie Bumby started that.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Junie.
Yeah.
That's Junie, representing him. What's up, Junie? No complaining training. He's moved to North Carolina, or South Carolina, but hopefully he'll be back the next year. So, but this last one, I just did this one. This is, I know you might recognize it.
Yeah, Junie in the struggle.
Because,
J. Cole.
Hey, we put the JM address on it.
Yeah.
And, I talk to the kids about, you gotta love yours, man. That's the name of the song.
Yeah.
But, and he talking about, there's gonna be other fancier things out there, bigger houses, prettier women and stuff like that. But you gotta love JM, where you at, where your feet are.
Yeah.
And so when I say it's beauty and struggle, because we had to play a lot of young kids early. They started as a freshman and sophomore. I said, these guys have played a lot of football. So now, we struggle, but there's beauty. The beauty of this, they got a whole bunch of varsity experience. The struggle has been real, but right now, we're going to start paying some people back.
Yeah.
And that beauty is going to show up this year. And so, that's what I came to inspiration for that.
Love this, man. It's just, I'm so grateful, man, because you teaching gratitude, and I feel like that's the key to all success, man. Just being grateful and what you're preaching, just being and appreciating where you are and who you are, and believing in what you could do, man. I think this is just as much a spiritual and morality check for our No Cap family today, man. So, man, I'm glad you're here, but we're not done. We still got some. We still got some more talking on. Yeah, we still got some questions for you, man, because I know you were very challenged academically going to Wake Forest, so you had something to prove. So you were there 4 years, correct?
5. Well, 4.5.
5 years.
We got redshirted, so got redshirted. Didn't play my first year. Then I played the next 4 years. So after my senior year, which was in December, I had enough because I graduated and ended up walking the fall and spring.
So because Google is telling us that you hold the record for interceptions there. This is to this day, at least in the top 4. Yeah,
I'm not sure honestly where I'm in interceptions. Definitely number 1 for Wake Forest. That hadn't been touched in a while. They had a guy last year that kind of crept up to it, but so it was funny when you watch the games and stuff like that. They were talking about, this guy, he's only so and so amount from this, but he's not going to catch it. But
yeah, man. Talk
man. That's the baseball. That's the baseball because I could judge the ball, man. I can follow the punch, and it helped me in the long run.
So, Wake Forest. After that, you went directly to the Saints from there?
Yes. Yep.
And did your 1 year, then you went to Scotland.
Yes. After the
So
film.
you got hurt, right?
I got hurt. The first year, 93, wasn't drafted. I was a free agent. Signed for $8,000. I was rich. $8,000 was my signing bonus. Signed on with the Saints. Had an opportunity to go, I think, Minnesota, but they had drafted a quarterback and was going to make him a safety. I'm like, well, I'm going to go there. He drafting somebody to play a different position in front of me. So I went to the Saints. It's like I said, I was having a good preseason, playing over in Japan against Philadelphia Eagles. Routine tackle, boom, came down, hit my knee felt funny. It didn't hurt, but I just landed on it pretty hard straight down. Ended up tearing my PCL, and that was usually about a 7 or 8 week injury. But that was the year they said once you go on IR, injury reserve, you're on there for the whole year. So I was on there for the whole year, then came back the next year. So that's 94, and it started acting up again too. But I didn't say anything because I'm trying to compete, but I could feel it. But I got the call, got the tap on the shoulder, like they said, coach wants to see you and bring your playbook. You don't want to hear that, so I heard it, and then I went back, came back here.
So you came back here. So how did you get to Scotland? How did that turn out?
They started it was called the World League, and basically they were drafting people based on, I guess, training camp, people that didn't make it in training camp off NFL teams. So they drafted a certain number of us, but then they also had what they call 6 national players. So those players could have been from any other country other than the United States.
Okay.
And so they were trying to grow the game. So we went to Scotland. We had 2 Scottish players on our team. They were actually pretty good too. So, but you get different, levels of play out of those guys. So I went over there, absolutely loved it, man. Got to see the world. I was in, Scotland was our home base, but we played games. One in London, one in Frankfurt, one in Dusseldorf. Frankfurt and Dusseldorf was 2 of them. Amsterdam and Barcelona.
Oh man!
So I did that for 3 years and got to go to those places, man. Got a chance to experience stuff that that I ain't been out of the country before that.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
That turned out being a blessing in disguise.
Exactly, man.
So was that jump from Scotland to Denver? Was it a surprise to you? Like, how'd that go? How'd you get the news on it?
It's kind of crazy because I was doing everything. I was having a great season over there. And then my last year, I'm like, my roommate, he was like, he's always talking to his agent. And I had some agents I really had never, I've only met one time. And so I'm like, man, you think your agent would take me on? Because these dudes I have, man, I haven't heard anything. I'm not happy. I said, I need to get something different. He said, yeah, I'll give you stuff. And so he did, and the agent called right back the next day, like, what's going on with this guy? Is there something going on? Because everything I'm seeing is he should have had a shot. He should be doing something. He asked, did he have an attitude? He's like, nah, they just had me getting a shot. And so he said, yeah, I'll sign him. So that's 97, all right? And so he ended up saying, hey, Denver got you ranked as the top player over there. And he said, but they already got 8 safeties on the roster, that's in for training camp. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, all right, so I came home and was working out for that month, so we got home in June. So I worked out, and then he said, well, they want to bring you in for a trial because someone was holding out one of those safeties. I'm like, all right. Went to Denver, flew there on Sunday night, worked out for on Monday. They liked my workout, flew me back home. And I remember Jack Elway, that's John Elway's dad, was the one who worked me out. He said, hey, you ran a much better time than I thought you would run. I'm like, well, I said, I've been hurt. And I said, I haven't run a 40 since I worked out for the Redskins one time. The Commanders, sorry now. But they put a bum time on me because I ran in with my ankle was swollen. But long story short, he said, well, you ran a lot better than we thought you were. And I said, all right. And I said, good. So they said, flew me home. They said, we'll let you know. So I fly home, and then Tuesday, I'm in the National Bank. My brother had a pager. I ain't have a pager either. He come running in the bank because we was there visiting my buddy Andy with us. He had this page. He's like, hey, he's running across me. Hey, this is number. So I called him back right there, and they said they was gonna sign me. So the
right
next
day,
I saw what? Exactly.
I know that signing bonus is bigger than.
So I went. So that was Tuesday. They flew me in Wednesday morning. I went straight from the airport to the bus to go to training camp.
Waste no time.
None. I didn't know half the players. Well, I mean, of course, you know Elway and Shanahan and TD, but yeah, it was something else, man. But it was a blessing, and I'm saying that because prior to that, my mom was diagnosed with cancer in '96, I think, and she was battling, and it got to a point where she was on hospice care, and I was still overseas. This is '97, and so I flew back, and my sister was doing, taking care of her and things like that. And I remember she got to the point where she couldn't talk. She told me she knew what I wanted to do, and she told me to go back and made me go back. But I remember that last conversation I had with her. I said, Mom, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I promise you're gonna see your baby play in the National Football League. And I'm 27 at the time. Hadn't had a shot. But it's just something in me, man. And it was on my heart. I said, I'm gonna keep this promise. I ended up flying back. I don't think I even got to play the game because I got a call and they said she had passed away, so I flew back. But I get asked questions, what's the best game and stuff like that, and it's not the Super Bowl. It was that very first preseason game I played against the Buffalo Bills. I still remember coming to the locker room and seeing my name in that jersey, man. I was boo-hooing like a mug, man, in my jersey. Wow. But a lot of people didn't know, that first year I was there, I was grieving. My mom was everything. She was single parent, a lot of stuff we rapped about, man, she was about that. And to keep my promise, that's the thing I said. I said, you know what? I kept my promise. So anything happened after that was gonna be gravy. But I made sure that I got the uniform.
Wow. I'm glad you said it. It's funny you say that because I was gonna ask you notice a difference between an athlete that has just raw talent or somebody that they had something, a reason, which like something like that that's driving them. Like, do you think it makes a difference, or you think it's just all on the person?
100%, man. If you playing for something, like I said, it's bigger than you. That means more to you than someone else, man. You are, because again, I don't care how many doors were slammed on me, man. I was playing for something at that point bigger than myself, and my mom representing Fredericksburg, man. When you have everybody behind you and people depending on you to do things, man, it means a lot, and it keeps you going. And I know, if I didn't make it, the city would have been fine with it, but still, I felt that pressure, to perform and to represent, and I just wanted to make it happen.
Yeah, so you gotta know your why. So I talk about you gotta find a why. That's the why you doing it. You gotta do it, and you gotta stick to it, and keep that in the front of your mind.
Yeah,
that's deep.
Man, so you say that first play, or that first game,
Preseason.
then the preseason was most memorable, and she was able to witness that.
No, she had passed away.
She had
already passed away, but before she passed away, I told her she was gonna see me, and I wasn't even signed. I wasn't anything. I hadn't seen. I hadn't been to a workout and so on, but it's just something in me that said that it was gonna happen.
Prophesized.
And it's crazy, it may seem, but I used to watch Five Humpies, favorite movie all the time. And I remember a man was giving a speech. He was talking about so-and-so is not gonna make it because he hasn't suffered anything. And up until that point, man, I'm like, you think that's a sign? Because I always remembered, I always held on to that. I said, something drastic happen or something he has to suffer in a certain way to make him appreciate and want to succeed in that music business. And I'm not sure if you guys remember Five Heartbeats.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my movie right there, man. So, and we would watch it all the time when I was in Scotland. Me and my boys, we used to watch it all the time. There wasn't much to do the first years. We were kind of away from the city, but yeah.
You know, most people would think that Super Bowl winning tackle on the kickoff would be the most memorable or most, you know what I mean, like the highlight, you know?
Yeah, it's and I tell people, it's the journey for me, man. It's the journey. Because I know what I had to put my body through, what I had to sacrifice to get there. Once you get there, man, and things happen, that's just blessings on top of it. But my resilience, when I tell my story, it's not going to be I made the first and last tackle of the Super Bowl. It's going to be the struggle, being cut. You know what I'm saying? Coming back here, teaching school. And nothing against teaching school, but at that point in my life, I wasn't ready to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just staying with it and proving naysayers wrong. You know, and so my journey is more important. And I got, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. I don't wear them, but the journey to get to you.
Yeah, show the people, man. They gotta see it, man.
You know, and I tell people, yes, I love these
Not
rings.
gonna zoom in, man. Let them see it.
I love them, but what it took me to get these things,
That's
is
the
more important.
That's the real
It's more
sacrifice
important
right
to
there.
me, man.
Yeah. Got his name on it and everything.
Oh,
Look
you
at
know,
that.
man, it's heavy. That's I don't wear them
got
because
some weight on it.
because I shake people's hand and you got
As bulky as this is.
Yeah, and that was back in what 97, 98. Them things now.
Yeah, I know. They're like twice the size.
They're like small domes now, man.
Right. Oh, they make them smaller?
No, I'm talking about compared to the ones that I get now, man.
Yeah. Oh no, she ain't fading.
Yeah.
She ain't fading.
Keep them clean though.
Yeah.
Dang. So how was what would you say were some highlights of your NFL life, in general? I know you got some stories.
Oh yeah, I had some good ones.
That you can speak on, man. But the kids need to see this one.
It was a lot of, man. I remember the first training camp. I'm just fired up trying to get things going and stuff, and warm-ups and stuff. And I remember the first 2 days of training camp, I got 0 reps. And I still remember, I don't know if you know Steve Atwater, but he's, Hall of Fame safety, big hitter. He came over there and he kind of tapped me. He said, "Hey man," he said, "No, you're not getting any reps, but make sure you're paying attention and you're learning what you're supposed to do. So when you get in there, you'll be really good." I was good. I'm like, I said, "I'm all right, man. I appreciate you telling me that though." But finally get into practice. Finally get in, man, get a chance. And they were telling me, "Hey, they're going to run this route right here. Do not jump this. Do not jump this." And I jumped and they threw a post over my head. And I was full speed, 100 miles an hour, man. And ended up rolling up one of our starting receivers. He ended up catching the ball, but, I was trying to get it out. Tangled him up. We went head over head. Coach Shanahan called up practice. He said, "Bring it in." And, he's giving me the ride. Everybody, like, we got to protect each other. And they ended up writing about that in the Washington Post. My brother read about it, and my buddies years later said, "Man, we thought you were gone, man." They didn't know who I was. They said 48 is gone. Because I tackled Ed McCaffrey, he's our starting receiver, just because.
Man.
But then they said, "They ain't going to give him a Greyhound ticket." But maybe that. But just playing the games, got to go to Mexico City, got to go to, Australia. I remember talking to like Dan Marino, because we were ready to play them, and we just kind of shooting. He said, and I was talking to him. I said, "I'm enjoying it." He said, "Yeah, I know you are," because scout report stuff like so. It made me feel like, damn, Dan Marino know who I am. That means I did something, man. But that, and of course the Super Bowl years, playing out in San Diego and having my family there and stuff like that. Another good story from the Super Bowl. This is the first one. I was on the sidelines. Kobe Bryant was at the game, and my wife, my sister, my brother, and my best friend Andy were there. And so my wife took a picture of my sister Tammy, and Kobe Bryant. And you know, back then, you know, you wasn't no instant. You got to develop the picture later on.
Yeah.
Take a picture and cut Kobe's head off. So,
Oh.
so it's just her. So to this day, she's still upset with my wife about that. But they ended up finding another picture, so she kind of cropped it together and put her head on it.
Wow.
But it was cool. They were talking about that and this thing. For the people that came out to see me, man, we had a ball going, Magic Johnson party, and you know, it was awesome, man. And then to do it again, it was like, yeah. And the second one, I was playing and made a couple plays, so
yeah.
And that's how another one, John Elway, retired. You know what happened was, you know, I was on the prevent defense. We always do it, you know, in the half, in the game, whatever. But my job, don't let anybody outside get to the sideline. I'm trying to keep the clock running.
Right.
At the end of the game, you know, I remember I couldn't hear the conversation, but you hear it when they show the half an hour show. It's like Elway, you know, we had basically won the game. But Elway, you know, he asked him how did he want to lead the field. Did he want to just be taken out, or did he want to be on the field and be taken out? He said he wanted to be on the field and be taken out. And so we were on defense. There's like 2 minutes left. And so they throw a little pass to Jamal Anderson. You know, he's a dirty bird guy. And he tried to come outside line, and I'm hitting him in the stripping the ball. So I got a fumble in the Super Bowl. I didn't recover the other safety recovered it, but that right there, by doing that, that allowed our offense to go on the field. Elway took a knee, and then he kind of ran off the field, and so that's how he wanted to go off. So that's my claim to fame. I gave Elway the chance to lead the field on his own terms.
So was that was after the tackle, or was that
that was after the tackle? So our offense now goes on the field. He kneels the ball and go. So he gets the celebration to go off the field, you know, with his helmet up in the air and stuff like that. So if they didn't, you know, they drive down the field or whatever, he'll never get the opportunity. But you know, he got to ride off into the sunset.
Shout out to John Elway, man. He always shout out to you, man. For real, man. That's amazing. So real quick, man. The street naming after you in Mayfield. You know, for the people who don't know, there's a street in Mayfield named after George Coghill Street, right?
Yes.
George Coghill Street, man, by the fairground.
Yeah, my son just said something about the other. He passed it like every day. He said, mentioned it the other day.
It's funny. GPS and stuff, it'll show up like that and stuff. You know, I just send it to my buddies like, yeah, you don't got a street. It was good.
That was just the icing on the cake.
I remember Kevin Pools got that started for me. And I remember him talking about, you know, some of the things I could do for the community and you know, because he's trying to get a street named after me. They were trying to get Glover Street, because that's where I grew up. Basically.
Oh man!
But they said
they
wouldn't have. It's tough to get. He said these people aren't changing the street,
right.
so they named the street over there by the fairground where no one's living on. Now I think it's a car wash on it and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody know G Street, Delano Green. Ice Jackson. Yeah. So.
Man, so out of all you've accomplished and done and been through and everything you're doing now, what do you want to be remembered as? What's your legacy, the legacy for George Coghill? This is a tough one, man.
Like I said, I haven't asked that, man.
No cap.
Okay.
We love when we stump the guests.
I just, honestly, just a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? I've had some accomplishments. It's been great, but if someone was to bring up my name, I would hope someone would have something positive to say about it. You know, whether it's from my football days, whether it's how I treated them when I met them, whether it's how I coached their kids, something positive. How I interact with the kids as a teacher at JM, but just say he's a stand-up guy. You know.
That's deep, bro. Because I love that. Because no matter what you go through in your life, you can always control you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, be positive, be respectful. You know, all that. At least somebody got something good to say about you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you did or accomplished, your name's still gonna ring bells.
And that's the play. I joke with my kids. I say, hey, me and my brothers, we created a good name in the city, man. Gotta keep it going.
Yeah. We never heard nothing bad.
Well, I think you all have done just as much, if not more, off the field by what you're doing now, like being pillars in the community, really activists for the children, because the youth that's who's gonna gain so much from what you all do and have done. And that's why it's so important. I really want to cater this to the children, because it's so much wisdom and knowledge and things to gain from what you've said. And I mean, it speaks for itself, from the gratitude to the discipline, the hard work, the resiliency, the struggle, all of that plays a part. And I really want the kids to watch this, so that, you know, we want to pitch that to the kids. And we thank you for what you've done, what you and your brother, man. Shout out to AC, you know, for what he's doing, man, in the community. And I mean, y'all are just that, stand-up guys, like you said, man. So
appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate it. And one last thing, I found it this morning.
Don't lie, stop lying.
I found it this morning, and I'm trying to clean it off. See, the thing is, I found the CD, but it's so difficult to find CD-ROM drives now. I gotta burn it. So I'm going to the studio tomorrow. I'm gonna burn it. I've cleaned it up. I'm gonna get it burnt tomorrow at the studio, and I got you. I don't care if I gotta mail it, hand deliver it. I'm gonna email it.
I used to crank that, man.
Which one?
I ain't gonna lie.
Then respect my hustle.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, that was tough.
Game days and stuff. This is years. I mean, when you first did it, I was like, Junior Bum, we still talking about it. Yeah. That CD.
Man.
I remember I had that thing, man. It was just chipped, and I was like, man, I can't play it anymore. Yeah. I used to play it all the time, man.
I remember,
man,
King Kong and
yeah, we had it on in civics class. Whoever Mr. Snyder put it on.
Oh, Mr. Snyder, my man. Yeah. Mr. Snyder, my man, to this day.
I can call up AC right now, and he'll tell you. You look the line. I went from riding the bench to JV to starting on varsity.
Man, I told you, I saw him about a few months ago when school was in, and he repeated that line to me. I'm there with Matt, little Matt. He repeating that. I'm like, man, this is
man, legendary, man.
Yeah. The CD, not me.
Hey, I've seen it. I've seen the growth, man.
And he say the same thing, man. And just to be recognized by a legend, you know, just like hats off, man.
Showing the flowers when they get appreciated, right?
That's it. Man, so glad you came on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, man.
Hope y'all learned something, No Cap Radio family. And the kids, man, show this to your kids, man. This is something for them to learn and grow and develop with the wisdom that was taught here today. Shout out to Rock, No Cap family. We love y'all. We out. No Cap.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Fredericksburg, Maury, Friday nights. I promise you, it's gonna be lit this year. Get behind us. We got a great group of kids, and we're gonna set this place on fire. So
that way,
come out support.
I like this one right here, man.
That way. What's
bison.
This one?
The
bison.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Hey, get on the bus, man.
There you go.
Get on the bus, man.
There's beauty in the struggle, baby. There's beauty in the struggle.
You want all that smoke this year.
That way.
Bye.